Man, oh man, oh man. Fellas, y'all remember this. Y'all remember this man, right? He goes by the name of Brett Fairley. Now, now, not just myself, but others as well, has made videos sharing his story out to everybody and what he's going through. It has now came to all of our attention that they have now arrested Brett Fairley. In which, let's just be honest here, he predicted that they was going to do this shit too. And for what? For telling his story on social media. So now he's arrested and was forced to remove his story off social media, in which it's too late now. It's too late now. Not only is his story still on social media, but we are now sharing it with everybody now. And it's clear to see that the judge has a grudge, and now wants to punish Brett Fairley for telling this story. No, it ain't got shit to do with him breaking laws or anything. They're mad because he shared this story, and now they want to punish him because of it. Well, guess what? We about to push his story even further. And yeah, I still got those videos on my channel. And after this video, I'm about to share them I'm about to share them way beyond YouTube. I'm gonna put his story on all platforms, including Rumble. You see, one thing I always learned growing up, when they tried to silence someone, make their voice even louder. And no, and fuck no. The courts, they can't do shit about it. We are not under their jurisdiction. So this man who found out that the child that he thought was his was not, the courts proved he wasn't, but now you got his crazed ex-girlfriend and a biased judge who has a grudge against him, have him arrested and take down his story. But before I go any further, let's see. Shout out to the Modern King. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comments section. Go check it out. I'm also gonna put the link to Daddy Talks in the comment section as well, because Daddy Talks had Cornell Smith on his podcast too. Both links will be in the comments section. But I just now found out about this, so we all going to go through this together and see what is going on. Enough talking. Let's get down to business, shall we?
I'm probably going to jail for this. I don't care. I've stayed quiet long enough.
Brett Fairley has been arrested, in case you missed it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but here are the charges as well. So here is his booking picture. There's his name. He was booked on 5/8, and here are his charges: contempt of court, non-bondable, voting under the influence, boats, reckless or negligent operations, improper personal flotation device.
Now I can understand the contempt of court, but the voting under the influence, voting reckless, and negligent operations, and improper personal flotation device. What does that got to do? What does that got to do with his case? I am hopelessly confused on those parts. But let's continue.
And here is what Hadley had to say about the situation. This is on the Mermaid Mom's page. Her comment was
Now Haley here, who is engaged to Brett Fairley, she made a a Facebook post, or is it Twitter or whatever? She made a post stating the following: he was arrested for telling his story and for child support, even though he's off the birth certificate. Also, we were we were nowhere near the water today, and he had no warrants. I am beside myself. So basically, so basically, what they what what this retarded fuck ass law is, what the law, the courts, and all these other retarded fucks is doing is they trying to put trumped up charges on him because he told his story. So apparently the courts where Brett Fairley resides in, they trying to keep his story. They trying to cover up his story. They trying to cover their tracks on this matter. Well, it's too late for that shit, because now everybody knows what has happened to Brett Fairley, and now everybody knows that the courts is trying to play cover up while punishing a man just for telling the truth. Let's continue.
He was arrested for telling his story and for child support, even though he's off the birth certificate. Also, we were nowhere near the water today, and he had no warrants. I am beside myself. If you were not aware, he posted a 12-part series telling his side of things. He was well aware that this would possibly get him in trouble, as he was not supposed to be posting about this on social media. But he did not want to be silenced. He wanted to get his part out there, and for the most part, that's what he did. Unfortunately, he did not get to finish, as he was arrested. All of these videos have now been removed.
They sent this man to jail for refusing to be silenced and sharing his story. They forced him to delete the videos he had posted, exposing not only the mother's lies and paternity fraud, but the corrupt system that's enabling her, while punishing him when he's done nothing wrong. Unfortunately for them, me and several other people have already immortalized his story, preventing him from ever being silenced, so we can expose how our current system throws random men under the bus to protect women who lie and abuse them for financial and personal gain. Below, I have linked to the original full story of him exposing their lies.
Exactly, modern king. And yes, fellas, I will make a playlist of both stories as well as this video here. And once that playlist is complete, I will also put it in the comment section, that for those of y'all who hasn't heard his story. No, we will not be silenced. We will not be silenced. We will not stay quiet, especially when you got men like Brett Fairley being silenced by a corrupt court system. And as I said, we're not under their jurisdiction. And shout out to everybody that's bringing Brett Fairley's story to light, even in times of censorship. And I don't want to take people to church that don't want to, but I will say this: blessed are those who face great persecution. And that's all I'm going to say on that matter. But let's continue.
Due to their attempt at silencing him and forcing him to delete the videos from his page, I would ask that everyone watching this go and share his original full story to bring more eyes to the corruption that is taking place. Increased public scrutiny on this case will make them think twice about jailing a completely innocent man because he decided to publicly share his story.
And let me tell this to you fellas. I don't want nobody being quiet on this matter. This is what we do. This is what we're here for. Fuck what these retarded fucks fuck what the rest of these retarded fucks are talking about. This is what we're here for. This is what we stand up for. So fellas, don't be quiet. Don't be quiet about this matter. It's time for us to hold this line. It's time for us to hold this line and stand for Brett Fairley here. He should not have to go. He should not have to be arrested, locked up, and be punished, all because of a corrupt court system. This is one of the reasons why I stand for men going through this shit. And if we stay quiet on this matter, then why are we doing this for? I'm just saying. Let's continue.
With enough pressure from widespread public attention, they would have no choice but to free him. We cannot tolerate a system that jails and punishes innocent men while protecting and enabling liars and abusers. Hopefully, Brett Fairley is able to get the justice he deserves, while also preventing more men from falling victim to this biased system.
So Brett Fairley, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story recently, was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria, who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child. Despite this arrangement and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement, Maria ends up finding Brett's mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of the baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops. So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. In a kind of surprising victory, the courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations, but they don't make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate. The judge also assigns a mutual restraining order for the both of them, meaning that neither of them can ever talk about this case again, basically a gag order. But according to Brett, Maria broke this order almost immediately by contacting his family, telling them that he's a deadbeat who abandoned his child. So Brett decides that he too is going to defy the order and clear his name. And that's when he made a multi-part series detailing all the lies, how he got played, and also his own mistakes along the way to help educate other men.
And that's the crazy part too. That is the crazy part too, because they got him under contempt of court and bogus ass charges. Meanwhile, Maria, the woman who committed paternity fraud against Brett, she also broke that gag order by contacting his family. So one would sit here and think, wait a second. If they arrested Brett Fairley for contempt of court, wouldn't they also arrested Maria as well for also contempt of court? Oh no, they didn't arrest her. They only arrest Brett Fairley. And at this point, that right there alone further proves just how fucked up the corrupted courts are. Let's continue.
I actually remember one interview where Brett was asked what he would tell his younger self if he could, and he said that if he had ever heard a story even remotely similar to what he went through, he would have never been in that situation. So his story does have the ability to prevent this from happening. But obviously the courts don't want this story out there. Why? It just makes you wonder, especially when you consider that in other countries like France, it's actually illegal for men to perform paternity tests on their kids without the mother's permission because, in their words, it would destabilize the community. And honestly...
And let me tell you something about France. Guess what, France? Your country is already starting to destabilize. Ain't it funny how that shit works? France made paternity fraud. France made paternity testing illegal because of quote unquote it's going to destabilize their society. But guess what? Ain't life's a bitch. France is becoming disabled. France is becoming destabilized as we speak. So basically, you made a law that did their asses no good in the process. Let's continue.
Honestly, this whole concept that you have to prove paternity fraud is also crazy to me because it's like, did she say the kid was his? Did the DNA test say that it isn't? Seems to me that there was pretty clear deception involved. But we do have to learn from this, and honestly, this is why a lot of guys are very hesitant to sign anything until they get that DNA test. This is also why I think it's really important for women to stop taking DNA tests so personally and making it this big relationship-ending deal. You should want to be able to offer your man that reassurance, and you should also want that reassurance yourself. After all, hospital switch-ups do happen to women too. They can...
Big respect for her because, yes, as I stated before, you even got women out here. you even got women out here that stands for paternity test at birth. No, not just the men, but the women too. And the only ones who are against paternity tests at birth are these conniving, deceptive women and their simps, panda bears, and Captain Sablums, who's trying to make any excuse they can to keep it from happening because they themselves are part of the problem. Yeah, I said it. Fuck your feelings if you're mad. You are part of the problem. Y'all, they're the ones who wants to continue deceiving these men out here because without those men, they won't have a meal ticket, in which we don't give a fuck. As I said before, every man has a right to know whether or not he's the father of that child. Likewise, every child has every right to know who their biological father is, regardless to whether the mother likes it or not. But let's continue.
They can shut him up, but they can't shut us all up, and men need to hear this stuff. Men deserve to know if their kid is theirs or not without being shamed for wanting to know that.
For those
straight up. And fuck no, we won't be silent on this matter. Yeah, they silent Brett Fairley, but guess what? We still pushing this story so that everybody can see exactly what is happening and how fucked up these courts are. And no, we won't be silent either. Everybody's pushing this shit. Everybody keep talking about this and keep pushing this story. And keep exposing these corrupt family and paternity courts. But let's continue.
Those who have never seen the story before, here is the first part of it. The entire story will be linked below. Be sure to share the original story to prevent him being silenced. Situations like this should never happen, but they won't stop until those who lie and abuse others are held accountable for their actions.
A few years ago, I agreed to be a sperm donor. She said she just wanted a baby and not a relationship. I was young and naive, and I trusted someone that I shouldn't have. When she told me she was pregnant, I congratulated her and moved to California. I thought that was the end of it. But then she started messaging my mom. She said she had no one, and she pressured us all to be at the birth. So we did. We were all at the birth. I signed the birth certificate, and I decided to be in the baby's life as a dad. I let her and the baby live in my Airbnb for free. I had to pay.
Now, I'm going to have to stop it right here. Don't worry, though. And shout out to the Modern King. If y'all want to watch his full video in its entirety, I'll put the link to his full video in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell him JD Miles sent you. As well as I'm also going to put the link to Daddy Talks in the comment section. Go check that out as well. And once again, tell them JD Miles sent you. And stay tuned, because I'm gonna make this playlist telling his story so that everyone can see for themselves without the worry of any corrupted courts censoring. Once that playlist is done, I'll leave the link to that playlist in the comment section as well. Listen to this. If you haven't listened to Brett Fairley's story, I advise you do so. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done. Everybody, it's time to hold the line and stand for Brett Fairley here. And I'm out this bitch. Later.